All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special Elimination Chamber predictions panel episode of the BCP. Right now, I'm super excited to talk with this all-star panel on the official road to WrestleMania. First, please welcome back to the show. He is an OG BCP member. He is the cooker of delicious brisket. He is the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend, the Anti-Smark, Mr. Matt Widdis. What's up, bro? How are you?
Hey, yo. I like that. OG. I like that.
I love it, man. And I love that nice BCP baseball tee you're rocking today, man. This promo available now on tpublic.com. Always
Mrs. loves it.
She knows the deal. Shout out to Tracy. We love Tracy. And of course, someone else we love having back on the BCP. She is making a name for herself on the scene. She is the hardest working lady in the business. You know her from RDP Promotions. You know her from Kimmy Talks Wrestling. The woman, the myth, the legend, Miss Kimmy. What's up? How are you, Kimmy?
That was such a great resume of things that I do. I'm doing very good. It's just an ongoing list. It never ends. Never ends.
I love it. Whether she's talking to a legend, someone from Impact, someone from WWE, she's hosting those signings. Shout out to RDP. She's got the Kimmy Talks Wrestling YouTube channel. We're just trying to keep up. What signings you got coming up? I think Tasha's coming up, right?
Oh, so Friday we got Angelina Love. Saturday we got Tasha Steeles, and then a big event we got the Good Brothers. If y'all want to come out and see me,
that's
live.
Cool. I think Matt just popped.
Oh yeah, I'm adding that to my list here.
Love it, yeah. Well, I'm excited. That's right. The big event's coming up. Shout out to Richie and Kimmy doing some great things. But guys, now it's time to get right into our Elimination Chamber panel picks. You know, we always start with ladies first here, but this match is kind of, I don't know if it's happening. I don't think it will be happening because Lacey Evans was slated to take on Asuka, the Raw Women's Champion. But Lacey Evans apparently is legit pregnant. So, you know, very happy. Congratulations, Miss Lacey Evans, who's already a super mom, former Marine. I've always been a fan of Lacey Evans, more so on the face side of things, but she's still been killing it. And just nothing more to say, but congratulations to Miss Lacey Evans, who's already a super mom, as I said. So I'll just throw this one out to you guys. Hypothetically, who takes that slot to take on Asuka? Is the easy tap on the shoulder for Charlotte? I'll throw it to you first, Matt, because I know you're a Charlotte guy. Like, who takes this slot?
It's funny that just logically, under the circumstances, that maybe would be who you go to. Great product.
Shameless promo. Go ahead, bro.
But I think I don't think they wanted to do that yet. I don't know whether they were waiting for WrestleMania or after WrestleMania. This could be the spot where they just pull somebody out at random that, you know, fans have been clamoring. They want to see it. They want to see this person in a title match and just throw them in there.
I mean, Peyton was kind of her partner. Maybe Peyton, your cousin, the Vac Attack, is saying maybe Carmella comes over. He was very insistent on that. He could be here tonight. But man. I
mean, that's and I could see them just yanking somebody from SmackDown, somebody from Raw. Bianca Belair, her ticket is punched, but Carmella's out there. Naomi's out there. We haven't seen Naomi in a title match in a while. She always brings it. They have options.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have for sure. And again, congrats, Lacey Evans. Now, Kimmy, last time we had you on the show, I think you were rocking the Sasha Banks beanie. Obviously, Sasha's the SmackDown Women's Champion. So who do you think on the Raw side of things would get this title opportunity? It's got to be someone.
So we saw a beautiful debut at the Royal Rumble from someone who was in that bottom two, who came just so short, who has made her name at WrestleMania last year. I think it's time that we bring up Ripley. I think it just makes so much sense to put her in this position. I'm not saying she has to win, but I do not want Asuka to go on yet another pay-per-view without defending that championship, because the Raw Women's title is really not doing anything right now. We have to use it. I believe the last time it was defended was Clash of Champions on the pre-show against Zelina Vega. And this is a main title that you have on Raw. You've done this whole Women's Revolution thing, and now you're taking a step backwards because you're not even using that title. So you have to do it against a major star, get Asuka back on track. If you want to do Charlotte Mania, you could do Charlotte, you could do Naomi, Lana, for all I care. Just please defend that title in a marquee match at WrestleMania. That's all I want in life.
Wow. She's good, right, Matt? That's why she's
Yeah,
here.
she is. And I will throw a shout out to all the people online throughout today who are saying that Asuka is playing 4D chess, somehow getting all of her opponents to get pregnant so that she can become champion and then retain the championship. She's 2 for 2 with marquee opponents right now.
No,
she got the belt off Becky. She's holding it against Lacey.
I can't wait to see Becky back. And again, I love that moment where, Becky kind of, unveiled, last year that she was pregnant and the briefcase had the title in it all along. I thought that was great. And the emotion from Asuka and the elation on Becky's and Asuka's face. That was a great moment. But only in the world of wrestling could you come up with that very interesting 4D strategy, man. That's really fun to think about. But let's get into some matches that are actually happening here and confirmed. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I watch on Hulu, and I guess I miss a lot of stuff. And this is not a knock on Hulu. Hulu, give us a call. What's up? Just kidding. But we have Matt Riddle. For a lot of going for the sponsorships today. We have Matt Riddle taking on Keith Lee. Taking on, if I can read my handwriting, yes, I have the notebook, Kimmy. Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title. I'm just going to go, man, I kind of like it on Lashley. I like what the Hurt Business is doing, but I think Keith Lee, they just haven't known what to do with him. He's got those title shots. I didn't like that they changed his music. I didn't like that they changed his gear. They kind of got like their hands in it, and that's not a knock because Keith Lee's just so good as is. It's just like, how you don't want to mess up Keith Lee. How do you mess up Ricochet? How do you mess up guys like Aleister Black? Like they're good as is. And it gets a little too cute for me sometimes. I would love to see Keith Lee get the momentum here. I don't want to say this is a consolation prize for him, but this is something that, he's a main eventer in my mind. He's top tier. He's the guy we saw him with both titles in NXT. So I could see him winning this triple threat match that doesn't make anyone necessarily look weak. I will throw it back to Kimmy. Who do you think walks out with the U.S. title in this one?
So I saw an interesting thing on Twitter. I don't know if this is like confirmed or not. That said that they were removing Lee for some unknown reason. I just saw it briefly. I don't know if maybe it's COVID because Mia just had COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Okay, we're good again. I froze for a hot second.
No worries.
So I'm gonna go with Lashley just because I like that they're kind of teasing that Alexander's leaving. And that my main goal in life is that Cedric and Sheldon drop the tag titles. Alexander turns on the Hurt Business and then takes the U.S. title off of Lashley. That's all I want. Because Alexander really made his name in the Hurt Business. And they didn't know what to do with him when he was on 205 Live. And now he's finally making it his own. So I don't want Riddle because he can't wrestle at all. He's terrible. And I agree with you with Lee, but if he's out of the match, they got to find something for him at Mania. Maybe you could do Drew since it looks like Edge is going that blue route with SmackDown, but I'm going with Lashley.
Very, very well said, Kimmy. And I agree with you. I don't want Riddle to win for a lot of reasons. If Keith Lee is healthy, hopefully he does win that belt. But I like what you're saying. I always say this on the BCP. We saw Cedric outside of event when there were actually events we could go to. And, he was signing for the fans and taking pictures. And someone was like, get that 24/7 championship. And he's just like, I don't want it. So it's good to see him have the tag team title belt and to get some recognition. And I like what you're saying, Kimmy. That could be very interesting storyline. Like Bill said last time, there's a lot of theories on the implosion of the Hurt Business already, which is very interesting to me. I feel it's early, but there are a lot of theories out there. Matt, your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I think that, again, the main component here comes down to what is going to happen to the Hurt Business when the golden idol, the almighty Bobby Lashley, isn't holding the biggest title out of the group. And Keith Lee has two things different from him than the other two guys in that match. One is he's never competed in MMA on a grand stage. And number two, he's over with like crazy with every single demographic you can put out there. Under 25, over 25, men, women, you name it. People love the guy. Old school fans see, as Big E would say, big man slapping meat, and younger fans, newer fans, they see him and it's like, he's naming moves after Dragon Ball Z. I'm into this guy. this is his chance. This is going to be his build up to his first thing at WrestleMania. He's going to be defending the U.S. title, probably retain it. He's going to carry through there. And meanwhile, now they have time to start breaking down the Hurt Business, and whatever makes or breaks it, whether it stays together or falls apart, is going to be whoever from the Hurt Business ends up against Keith Lee at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's going to be tested. Very well said. Much like we're seeing with the Undisputed era on NXT. That's very interesting stuff going on. So we'll see what this build to WrestleMania. Yeah. No, I think that's fair, actually. Yeah, you know, those guys are killing it. Although I do like the aggression from Adam Cole. I know we digress a little bit, but
I especially like Pat McAfee's his response so far in Twitch. I was right all along. Look, this was your guy, and look what he does. He's still working people better than half the business.
Yeah, and then he would like send me your apology. The hashtag like Pat was right.
Yes, he's like, I'm waiting for you, wrestling fans. He's one of the best in the business. He's not in the business.
I hate it though. I hate that he's so good. Like, no disrespect, but you just come in there and you have performances like that, and you know that faction that they made that he's not really there anymore, and it doesn't really make sense. But NXT's been good and had good stuff going on. So I digress. But we'll see where this goes with Adam Cole. I think he's going to be a threat moving forward, heading towards Mania or Takeover, whatever capacity NXT will be involved. There has been rumors of NXT matches being involved at Mania, which I'm very for. Obviously having a limited capacity audience, so this should be a lot of fun. I see Kimmy clapping, so it's a lot of fun. This road to WrestleMania, a lot different than last year, and you know, guys always you know be safe out there and stay healthy. But let's talk about one of the first Elimination Chamber matches here, because we can't talk about one of the matches without talking about this first. Let me click on over to the list here. So we do have the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. I said earlier, maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe even before the Rumble, I said, I don't see Roman defending in the chamber. You know, it'd be cool if he ran through everybody, but he actually, if I remember correctly, Braun ran through everybody and won, and then Roman kind of took out Braun to win an Elimination Chamber. So Roman's been more of that calm, quiet intensity until he gets to that breaking point and kind of picking and choosing his matches. But unlike Brock Lesnar, actually shows up every week. Not a knock. I don't want to get beat up by Brock Lesnar. But, you know, we see the Elimination Chamber match. The contenders are, this is very interesting to me, King Corbin, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, which is very interesting to me. I'll see what you guys say about that. And then the winner of that match, if I understand correctly, will take on Roman Reigns at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, not obviously in the Elimination Chamber match, as said earlier. So when I look at this list of names, again, no disrespect, I don't see the WrestleMania match here. They're about that marquee. They're about, you know, as Kimmy said earlier, maybe it's that Edge versus Roman, Spear versus Spear, chip on the shoulder, maybe a passing of the torch. So it's very interesting, the theories going into this one. I guess we'll kind of do a two-parter here. We'll pick a winner of the Elimination Chamber, and I guess we'll say, will this winner go on to beat Roman for the Universal title? I'm expecting a no here. Do we see Kevin Owens versus Reigns part 3? So this should be very interesting. Kimmy, we'll throw it to you first.
Okay, so one thing I hope happens is Seth Rollins just beats up Cesaro so Seth Rollins can get in this chamber. I was so sad. I was like, what do you mean there's qualifying matches and then Rollins is coming back? Like, what?
That's your guy.
So, exactly. I'm very heartbroken. What are we doing here? Selfishly, I would love if Zayn won only because he could twist this in his own kind of like conspiracy thing. Like, I won the chamber and now I have to like wrestle Roman right after the chamber match because I feel like that's what they're going to do. They're not going to wait all night. It's going to be directly after because that's what Heyman is. And Zayn's going to be like, that's another conspiracy. WWE hates me. What the hell? This isn't fair. Storyline wise, I think that'd be great. Are they going to do that? No. I got to go with Bryan only because that's the match everyone wanted. Yeah, I know. Yes, my beanie. That's the match everyone wanted at Mania, and I don't want Edge and Reigns personally because I feel like there's so many stars on the blue brand you could put in that spot. But when I look at Raw, I don't see anybody that could wrestle Drew because I don't see them and Sheamus going, like him and Sheamus going so long because we still have Fastlane. There's another pay-per-view on the road. Why they did that, I have no idea. They're really stupid.
That could be a whole other show.
Exactly. Like, what the hell? So I see them doing Bryan just like a quick thing. You could even do this at Fastlane again, but I feel like to make Bryan look stronger, and then maybe you could have Rollins come in to cost Bryan, especially with like Reigns and Rollins, Shield brothers. So that's what I see happening. I think it's interesting that Uso is in it, but I guess they just couldn't think. They couldn't think logically about having Rollins in it, So they had to put Jay in it. But Jay's going to go to the final two. Him and Bryan are going to be the final two, and then Bryan's going to beat Jay.
Very interesting, Kimmy. And you hit all the points. You talked on Jey Uso. You talked on Bryan a little bit. Again, I look at these names, and I do, and this is not a knock on anyone, especially Matt's guy, King Corbin, but I do see Rollins taking someone's spot. I could totally see that. Like, looking at both these chambers, I'm like, someone's going to work their way in or switch their way in or finagle something, as we've seen in the past. Kofi actually on Raw last night, as the time of recording, was able to get into the match. So I was very cool with that. I liked what they did there, and that gauntlet was a lot of fun. Actually, I was really into it. You got something, Kimmy?
I said that on my show last week that Kofi was going to get in the chamber. I said it first.
Really? Kim,
I said it.
Rocks.
I was like,
rocks.
I was like, Kofi's got to get in this because it doesn't make sense. And guess what happened? Kofi got in.
That's right.
WWE, I know you're listening.
That's right. No, this is why you're here, Kimmy. You knocked it out of the park, as always. Matt, we'll throw it to you on this one, man. This is very confusing to me. Does your guy Corbin get the shot? What are you thinking here?
I don't think so. Quick mini rant. I used to love it when after after the Royal Rumble, there was 2 pay-per-views until WrestleMania. Fastlane for one brand, for the person who didn't win, and then Roadblock on the other brand. Whoever won the Royal Rumble, they put something in his way, aptly named. It was easy. And I don't like pay-per-views built around one type of match. I think it devalues the gimmick of the match. But Elimination Chamber doesn't bother me so much. I wish it was further away from the Royal Rumble. Makes it very easy to see what's going on with that every year. But this is Jey Uso and King Corbin versus the 2008 Ring of Honor locker room. And I am with Kimmy on this. I think it comes down to the last two. Daniel Bryan rolls up Jey Uso. Yes. But he's just rolled up. He rolls back up to his feet. Daniel gets a size 11 Jordan right in the mouth. Roman runs down in, ring the bell. It's a 4-second match, 1 second to get himself into the ring, and that's going to be it. Maybe 8 seconds. You got a second for an ooh-wah and sprint across the ring. And as I recently heard, the aggressive running hug maneuver for the spear. I like Roman. I like everybody who uses the spear, but I hate the spear as a finisher. God, it's awful. But yeah, that's where I see it going.
It's very interesting, man. And we both kind of touched on, or all of us, I should say, touched on Jey Uso winning. Again, it's very interesting to me that he is in the chamber. I feel like things could change moving forward. If he did win, is it like one of those things where you think he just lays down and shows his loyalty, kind of a thing? I could also see that happening. I don't know.
I could see it. And I could see after Daniel Bryan getting beat down, Daniel Bryan loves making other people, and Cesaro doesn't have a rocket on him right now, but he's got a jet at the very least. And this could be, they beat the hell out of my friend, and that's what propels him further.
Interesting. And you mentioned the 2008 ROH locker room. I think Rollins would fit in nicely, as Kimmy was saying earlier. So
exactly. This is ridiculous.
If he brings back the small package driver even once, I'm popping for that for the rest of the night. I'm going to turn off the TV after that. It's good. Nothing's getting better.
Get that brisket cooking now, my man. But always trying to get brisket over here. But let's move on to, I guess, what is going to be our last match for tonight. This is a quick show. We only have 4 as of recording. Of course, we do have another episode of SmackDown coming up before the Elimination Chamber. Let's take a look here. Now, this is all former WWE champions in this chamber match. And of course, it is, as I'm scrolling very casually, Kofi Kingston who was just added on Monday, which we talked about already. I'm very happy about taking on Sheamus, who will be entering last after winning that gauntlet match versus doing the juke over here. Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles versus champion Drew McIntyre, and Bill's personal favorite. This is for you, Bill. Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton has some other stuff going on with the very, very slow build of this hot and cold thing with The Fiend. What incarnation of The Fiend do we see coming back? I think we all seen that build to WrestleMania. I would imagine, I hope the build is worth it. Our problem with The Fiend, not to go on and on, has been hot and cold, hot and cold. It's very confusing. This guy could be bigger than he is. He's still very popular, but this should be very, very interesting. I guess, who do we see winning here? I mean, you know, Drew actually is defending against all of these opponents. Legit, I think this makes Drew look strong. And like I always say on every prediction panel this year, Drew needs to have that championship walking into WrestleMania. I say Drew retains. We'll throw it to the Anti-Smark first.
I am going the other way on this. I think if you're not going to have a title change on the other brand, that you see one here. And I think what's going to happen right now, the only real story in this is Drew and Sheamus.
Yeah.
And Sheamus is a guy, we thought his career was done about 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
This could be the goodbye to, we don't know. Get him to WrestleMania. I don't think we, the fans, have just pissed all over every Sheamus WrestleMania match ever since. But I think this one, they're the closest to friends in real life. This is a program. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Sheamus being like the MVP of this match. His entire repertoire is made up of finishers. He's one of the best bases in the business. And you have Kofi Kingston and AJ Styles to bounce off of him. You've got Kofi Kingston. If you can get rid of John Morrison to do something crazy in Elimination Chamber, you have to replace him with Kofi Kingston. And that's, especially if anybody's walking out of there besides Drew with the belt, I see it being Sheamus, and I do think that's where they're going to go with it.
I thought you were going to go with your Miz pick, because don't forget, it was all former WWE champions in the chamber. I see Kimmy thinking the same thing. And I think it was you, Matt, who said the Miz on one of our last shows. I could be wrong, man, but do we see a cash in, Matt, real quick or anything like that?
I don't think so, only because of the nature of the match. It's just a little too convoluted trying to get him in there.
Very true. Pick up the pieces. But we did see that gauntlet take a toll on McIntyre. It almost makes perfect sense. It doesn't make sense at all for Miz to give up the opportunity, but then maybe pick up the pieces. It's very interesting and confusing. I didn't hate it. And again, I like the Kofi worked into it. Yeah, go ahead, man.
I always hate they're always great matches, but I always hate that thing where they bring in the gauntlet match, like the last show before the pay-per-view. And yes, it's wrestling, we all know, but if we're treating it like a legitimate prize fight, then I'm going to walk out there and lay down right away, because why would I risk my body being beaten up going in just for the chance of the place at the end? I'll take my chances 1 through 5. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, very well said. I see Kimmy getting ready over there. I think Kimmy's got some good theory for us. Kimmy, what are your thoughts on this one?
I have lots of things. So first of all, I'm happy that they took Miz out, because it was the same thing with the Rumble. Why are you putting him in the Rumble? He has a briefcase. That wasted an NXT star's opportunity, to be honest. I see him cashing in the night after WrestleMania. That's my bold prediction.
Ooh, I like that.
Second thing, I find it very odd that 2 years ago, in an Elimination Chamber, Mustafa Ali was injured and Kofi took his place. And here we are 2 years later. If we're going to further this retribution feud, do we not see Ali beating up Kingston and then Ali getting retribution for 2 years ago?
I think Kimmy's doing a better job making retribution work right now than it is on TV. And that's no disrespect, because bless Mustafa's heart right now for trying to do everything he can to make that
T-Bar.
work. T-Bar Mania. Yes, did that just happen? Kimmy,
Yes,
go
it
ahead.
did.
I'm sorry. I
No,
digress.
it's fine. It's fine. It's part of my long prediction thing. Before last night, I did see Orton winning to do Orton and Edge, which is what they wanted to do at WrestleMania 36 for the title. But Raw changed my mind because of the Fiend. Now, I did see on Twitter that some people are saying that the lights are going to go out and Orton's going to be in his pod, and then the lights are going to come up and Orton's going to be gone and the Fiend's going to be there.
Ooh, I like
Which
that.
could also happen. Or maybe Alexa Bliss could be there if you want to pull like a Taker thing, like at WrestleMania 31, where when Taker didn't show up till WrestleMania, but he did all those like signs that he was coming to wrestle Bray. You could do that and have Bray not show up until WrestleMania and him have Alexa tease it. You could do that, which is what I've been wanting to see. I would go with AJ, but I feel like AJ is going to be the one to wrestle Balor for the NXT Championship at WrestleMania.
Ooh, I like that.
Because, we're doing so much stuff with the Bullet Club in every other promotion right now. How could you not have a Bullet Club match at WrestleMania? That's just a missed opportunity. But I see McIntyre winning. I think Sheamus and Drew are going to be the final two again, but Drew's going to get the upper hand. Like I said before, Sheamus is the only viable I see. I don't see anybody else on the Raw roster, which is sad because I look at SmackDown, I can name 5 people off the top of my head for Reigns. I look at Raw and I'm like, what are we going to do? Raw has such in-depth roster, they don't know how to use it. And it pains me that Raw and SmackDown are written by the same person and they don't know what they're doing on the 3-hour show. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
I get confused. So I see McIntyre looking strong. I see him maybe starting, just going through everybody, make some history and add to that legacy that he's had for the past year. Do something small. I don't know what to do at Fastlane. Something small, I guess. You could put AJ there for, shits and giggles. And then Sheamus at WrestleMania. And then Miz catches him the next night.
Good stuff. Kimmy, you covered all the bases. This is why you're here. Everyone, get Kimmy on your podcast. And check out our YouTube channel. We'll get the shameless promo in a little bit. But you knocked it out of the park. And it's very interesting to me that you brought up Styles taking on Balor or whatever it may or may not be. I'm trying to think, maybe triple threat with Cole, a little Bullet Club. Like, that's more exciting to me than some of the I don't even want to say main brand because I love NXT so much. But some of the other shows, it looks like Sheamus is going to be getting that shot. And to me, no disrespect, I've always liked Sheamus, but is that the WrestleMania match, Sheamus and Drew? After all this, I know they're buddies, and I guess the story's there, but I didn't think that was the marquee. No disrespect to either of them. I remember my buddy was at the airport a couple months ago, texted me, hey, Sheamus and Drew are rolling together. So again, it's very, very interesting to me. And then it would be hypothetically Edge taking on Reigns. And then what I'm most excited about, NXT's capacity or the NXT championship match going into WrestleMania hypothetically. So really, really good theories. Royal Rumble was great. We said that on an earlier show. Yes, it was an AEW show, Bill. I'm sorry about that. We love you, guy. But this one, my excitement level is I think this is almost like a placeholder. And like Kimmy said, we do have another pay-per-view. But again, maybe we have some surprises. Maybe someone takes a spot. Maybe Rollins pops in for you, Kimmy. We'll see what happens this Sunday. And Kimmy, before we get out of here, let's hit some of that shameless promo. Tell everyone where they can follow you for RDP promotions, some of the signings, Kimmy Talks Wrestling, all this stuff.
Let's see if I can remember it all. Okay. Facebook, East Coast Autograph Auctions. I do virtual meet and greets with a bunch of people. Just like that page and you'll see what I'm doing there. Twitter, Kimmy_WWE. Instagram, Kimmy Talks Wrestling. YouTube, Kimmy Talks Wrestling. There's lots of wrestling stuff coming up. We're on the road to WrestleMania and I never catch a break. WWE, AEW, what are you doing to me? We have a pay-per-view in 2 other weeks with, what's it called? Oh my God, Kyle's going to kill me because I can't name the pay-per-view.
Oh no, don't let him get the shit. Revolution? I won't tell him. He's never had Dino Nuggets. How has he not ever had Dino Nuggets? I always buy Dino Nuggets.
I'll talk to you about that after this because I yelled at him. Apparently they're not available in Canada. Okay, Kyle.
I think I spoke. Kimmy, thank you for being here. You knocked it out of the park. And yes, we're talking about Dino Nuggets. Now, someone who never eats Dino Nuggets, maybe your kids do, Matt, but you make delicious meats. Tell everyone where they can follow you on Twitter and see some of that amazing stuff you're cooking up.
Okay. Yeah. You can see me or hear me here on the Bob Culture Podcast from time to time, reviewing wrestling, movies, music, and TV and more on popbreak.com. And if you're ever bored, and on Twitter at Anti-Smark, Anti-Smark with 2 A's, where I try to crash the algorithm between Lance Storm and Disco Inferno so that they can never escape each other.
Love it. Well, thank you guys for being here. Everyone, check out the pay-per-view on Sunday, Elimination Chamber. Like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other, and always remember the 3 most devastating words in the world of wrestling. BCP, we're out. Peace.